Hello cats, welcome back to another episode of Chat About That. I'm your host Bella, and in this episode I'm going to be chatting about AwesomeCon 2021. I had such an amazing time at AwesomeCon this year, and I just want to jump right into the episode and start talking about my experience and what AwesomeCon is. So AwesomeCon is basically Washington, D.C.'s Comic-Con, and if you don't know what Comic-Con is, you're 100% living under a rock. Comic-Con is the giant convention that goes on in San Diego every year, and basically lots of different celebrities and comic book artists and guests and vendors and people just from all over the world come together and celebrate fandoms and nerdiness and everything that goes along with that. Anybody who listens to this podcast knows that I'm a huge nerd. I love Harry Potter, Star Wars, Marvel, Star Trek, lots of different things, and this was actually the 5th year that I've attended AwesomeCon. I started going in 2016, right after I graduated college, and every single year has been so much fun. And if you see behind me, if you're watching the video version of the podcast, you can see a bunch of pictures, and those are actually all the autographs that I have gotten at AwesomeCon throughout the years, and I have a bunch more that I got this year that I'll talk about in a little while, but I'm gonna hang those ones up and add them to my wall there, but those are some of the pictures that I have from the convention. I'm not gonna go into detail of like every single year that I was at AwesomeCon. I'm just gonna talk about AwesomeCon 2021. So this year, I actually had my tickets rolled over from 2020 because of the pandemic, the convention last year did not happen, and I rolled my tickets over. I actually think I bought them in late 2019 or super early 2020, but I have been waiting to go to AwesomeCon for so long, and it was really, really nice to be back there. They did require everyone to wear their masks, and I was a little disappointed about this, not because I don't want to wear my mask. I did a whole episode talking about COVID and my thoughts on all of that, but I was just disappointed that I wasn't really able to fully be in my cosplay, because I'll talk about what I cosplayed as in a minute, but I just felt like the masks like kind of not ruined the cosplay, but they like took away the illusion of a lot of people's cosplays, and a lot of people, myself included, did match their masks to their outfit. So I tried to pick a color or a, pattern that matched my cosplay. So I just felt like the masks kind of ruined the illusion of the costumes a little bit, but it didn't deter me from going. Obviously, I'm going to wear my mask. I did an entire episode all about COVID and my thoughts and how we definitely need to still be wearing our masks, but I just kind of wish that, I don't know, I wish that there was a section at AwesomeCon where we could have taken off our masks and take pictures, but we're all trying to be safe, and they did the best that they could, and they did a really good job of being very safe and sanitizing everything, and having hand sanitizer and, having a lot of sections for people to spread out while they were eating. So I think they did a really, really good job of, safety precautions, but I just wish there was like one section where we could go in the convention center where we could take our masks off for a minute and take photos. So I want to talk about each day, I guess. So I did go 3 days. This was the first year that I actually went all 3 days. I normally only go 2 days, but I actually took Friday off, and I went Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it was so fun. So Friday, I went just with my friend Megan, and we'd been to AwesomeCon a couple of times together, and we were both so excited because she bought the tickets at the same time I did, so we've just been waiting to go to AwesomeCon for a while. So the first day, we went to the Adam Savage panel, which I was so excited that Adam Savage was going to be there. If you don't know who he is, he was one of the hosts of the show Mythbusters, and he currently has a YouTube channel called Tested, and I was so excited he was going to be there. Mythbusters was literally one of my favorite shows when I was growing up, and I was never good at science, but I always really loved science, and he and his show like made me love science even more. I don't do science in my everyday life, but I do enjoy it, and it was just such a childhood dream come true to meet him and go to his panel, and I got a photo op with him, so I have this like really amazing picture of us together, and I got it autographed afterwards, and I was able to tell him everything that I just told you guys and how much he means to me, and he seemed really touched by what I told him, and it was just such a really great experience to meet him, and his panel was so good. Megan and I went to it, and he was just so articulate, and he was so nice to all the fans who were asking questions, and he was really funny, but he was also just like really informative and really he just had a lot of really intelligent, cool things to say, and he was such a joy to see. So I really hope he can come back to AwesomeCon. I would 100% go to all of the panels or any like thing that he was doing there. And I don't know, he was definitely like the highlight of the entire experience for me. So I just had such an amazing time meeting him. On Friday, Megan and I also went to the William Shatner panel because William Shatner was also there, and his panel was really interesting. He was talking a little bit about how he was doing some shows on Discovery Channel, and people asked questions, and he was just talking, answering the questions and just telling us about his life. I'm not as big of a fan of William Shatner as I am, Adam Savage and some of the other guests that were there, but it was really cool to see him in person because I absolutely love Star Trek, and I did watch like the original series, like not obviously when it was on TV because that was in the 60s and I was born in the 90s, but I have seen a decent amount of Star Trek, the original series, and I've seen a lot of other things that he's been in, so it was really cool to see him. And I hadn't been to too many panels before. A couple years ago I went to the Star Trek The Next Generation panel, and they had a bunch of people from that show. I think it was 2019. Yeah, it was 2019 when a bunch of those guys came, and I went to that panel, but this year I went to a lot more panels than I had in the past. So yeah, William Shatner's panel was pretty entertaining. Definitely liked Adam Savage's the most, just because I'm the biggest fan of him out of everyone who I went to the panels. But yeah, I thought William Shatner's panel was really cool. I didn't meet him or anything, but it was really, really nice to, hear what he had to say. So on Friday, Megan and I mostly just hung out and went to a bunch of vendors and bought, some merchandise and went to those panels. We went and met, Adam Savage, like I mentioned. And then we also met Billy Boyd, who played Pippin in the Lord of the Rings, and Megan was getting an autograph for one of her friends. He was really cool, and since we were getting an autograph for her friend, he was asking, where's your friend? Like, why isn't she here? And we're like, oh, she had to work today. And he actually wrote her a poem on the back of the autograph, and it was really cute. I took a picture of it, but it was really cool, and he was just like writing it on the spot, and we actually like helped him write the ending of the poem. So he was really, really sweet. I had a really nice time talking to him as well. After the photo op with Adam Savage, I changed my outfits, and this is where we're going to get into a little bit of the cosplay part of the episode, but I cosplayed as Robin from Stranger Things with her Scoops Ahoy costume, and I love wearing that costume. I wore it for Halloween a couple of years ago, and I haven't worn it since. It's just kind of like a silly outfit, but a lot of people, commented on it and said they liked it. And I only saw one other person wearing that costume. So it was pretty not a niche costume, but definitely not as popular as like wearing, 11 or somebody else from Stranger Things. But I really love cosplaying. Yeah, that was really fun. I got a picture of that outfit. I got a picture of all my outfits actually. And if you want to see all of that, you can follow my Instagram. The link for that will be in the episode description. It's just That Lil Italian on Instagram. Check out my Instagram if you want to see my outfits. That was what we did on Friday, but on Saturday it was so fun because Megan and I went all 3 days, but then Saturday and Sunday, my boyfriend and two of his friends came along as well, and Saturday I was actually cosplaying as Starlight from The Boys, and if you don't know what The Boys is, it's actually a graphic novel that they turned into an Amazon Prime television show. It's very adult, very violent, so if you don't like that kind of stuff, and if you're under the age of, I'd say probably 17, you probably shouldn't watch this show, but it's really good. It's pretty much like a more realistic version of what superheroes would be like in the modern day, and Starlight is one of my favorite characters. It's definitely my favorite costume of all the characters on the show, and I was cosplaying as her, and I got so many compliments on my costume. Nobody else was dressed up like Starlight because a couple of the people from the boys were actually supposed to be at AwesomeCon, but then they canceled a few weeks before the con because of scheduling conflicts. So I think a lot of people didn't want to cosplay as them because they weren't there. Most of the time with cosplay, people will do like really popular things or things that, you know, happen throughout the year. Like there were a lot of guys dressed up like the Mandalorian, which was really cool. Like they had like legitimate Mandalorian costumes, and the winner of the cosplay contest this year was actually someone dressed up like the Mandalorian. So, you know, there's a lot of like things like that, but I think a lot of people didn't want to cosplay as them because they weren't coming, not for like boycotting reasons, but I think just because those characters weren't going to be there. I think a lot of people were just like, you know, I'm not going to wear it, or I don't know. I think there were like a couple other people dressed up like some of the other characters on The Boys, but I didn't see anybody else dressed up like Starlight. And so many people told me that they loved my costume, and so many people actually took pictures of my costume. I haven't been able to find anyone's pictures like online. If they posted the picture of me, I was like stalking all like the AwesomeCon tags and stuff on Instagram, but I wasn't able to find anybody's pictures of me dressed up like Starlight. But I love that costume so much, and I'll definitely be cosplaying as her like every time I go to AwesomeCon because I loved it so much. I'll probably eventually get like a wig, and I definitely need new shoes because the shoes I had were really, really uncomfortable. So definitely need to like fix up the outfit a little bit, but it's so much fun dressing up like Starlight. And then Saturday as well, Megan and I went to the Christina Ricci panel, and Christina Ricci played Wednesday Addams in the film versions, and I love Christina Ricci. I've seen a lot of movies that she's been in. I think she's a really great actress. And I obviously I love Wednesday Addams. She's one of my favorite characters, and I actually dressed up like Wednesday for a Halloween party a couple of years ago, and I won the costume contest, and I almost cosplayed as Wednesday at the AwesomeCon, but I had a couple other outfits that I wanted to wear, so maybe next year I would do her like one day or something. But I really had a good time meeting her. She was very kind. Her panel was really good. Megan actually asked a question of her, and she answered it, and you know, she had some really good things to say as well. She talked a lot about different roles she had when she was a child, because she started acting when she was pretty young, and so she talked about a lot of different experiences. She talked about how big of like an icon Wednesday Addams is, and I don't know, I just thought her panel was really cool. She just seemed like such a sweet person. Megan and I also met Carl Weathers on Saturday, and Carl Weathers is one of the characters on The Mandalorian currently, and he was also in Rocky and Happy Gilmore, and he was really sweet too. I got a picture, it was a picture where he's like holding up Baby Yoda, and it's so cute, but he was a really, really sweet guy to meet. He was really adorable. He did have a couple of panels. I wasn't able to go to his panels, but I had a really good time meeting him. He was really, really sweet. So Saturday, mostly, again, other than going to those panels and meeting a couple people, we just wandered around, taking pictures in our cosplays, and just buying some merchandise. I bought a lot of stickers because they were like pretty cheap. So I'm going to turn a lot of the stickers I got into magnets. Megan also got me a little 3D printed alligator Loki, and it's so cute. She's giving it to me for Christmas, so I have to wait a little while to get it. It's so cute. I also got like a really tiny little version of alligator Loki that someone made out of like Palmer clay. A lot of people were dressed up like Loki, and a lot of people were actually dressed up like alligator Loki. It was really cute, or they had like alligator Lokis with them. And a part of the fun of going to AwesomeCon or any convention is just seeing people's costumes. Even if like you don't want to dress up, it's just fun to see like what different people wear. Like some people like me will buy an actual costume, some people will put it together, some people will make their costumes. So I love the people watching aspect of AwesomeCon. It's really, really fun. My boyfriend and his friends also found a little DJ area, and they were just dancing on Saturday, and then Sunday all of them did like a whole Thriller dance, and I got it on video. It was like super fun. I didn't do the dance just because I don't like dancing, and I don't like dancing in public. So I was just taking a video of them, but that was kind of fun that they were doing Thriller. Another really cool thing about AwesomeCon is that they have sort of like reenactor legit cosplayers that are in front of sets that you can take pictures with. And the one that I love seeing every year is the Star Wars one. And this year they actually had Baby Yoda, and they had Rey and Han Solo, R2-D2, BB-8, and a couple other characters that you could like go up and take pictures with. And that's always really fun, seeing R2-D2 roll around and he talks to you and you can like dance with him and stuff. So I I liked that section, obviously, because it was really fun. But I got a really cute picture with Baby Yoda and Rey. And I had a Baby Yoda shirt on before I changed into my Stranger Things cosplay. But yeah, I always love going to that little area and seeing R2-D2. And then Sunday, I was cosplaying as Harley Quinn from Birds of Prey. And there were a lot of people dressed up like Harley Quinn, lots of different versions of her. She's pretty much like one of the most popular female cosplays to do. And so a lot of people were dressed up like her from Birds of Prey, from Suicide Squad, and from the new Suicide Squad movie as well. And I just love seeing, you know, how people do different takes on Harley Quinn and even just different takes on other costumes. It's really cool. I was just talking about it, but like it's really cool to see everyone's costumes and, you know, how they interpret a different character. Also on Sunday, Megan and I went and met John Heater. He's from Benchwarmers, Napoleon Dynamite, and Blades of Glory. And Blades of Glory is actually one of my favorite movies. My family and I watch that movie all the time when it's on TV, and we had a really nice conversation with him. We actually talked to him for about like 5 minutes, and he was so cool. Like, he just seems like the kind of dude that you would just like get a beer with and just like chill and hang out with. Like, he was so nice and really cool, and I had a really nice conversation with him. I also want to talk about the vendors. I actually made friends with a vendor, and his name is Luke, and he is the owner of Clay Droids, and he makes little tiny polymer clay figures, and I got a couple of them, and they're really cute. He works really hard on them, and it was so nice. Him and his friends were really nice, and all of his little figures were so beautiful. They were like really well made and really smooth. Like, sometimes when you buy polymer clay figures, the figures, like, you can see fingerprints on them, or they're kind of lumpy, and they're just not like, I don't know, they're not like made in the best quality or like made the best way, but his little figures are so beautiful, and he was so nice and so cool, and I really hope that I like get to see him at another convention at some point. But I got a couple of things from him. I got like 4 things from him because his stuff was like so cute. So I don't know if you're listening to this, if you're ever going to see this, but hi, Luke. Hope you're doing well. Absolutely love your stuff. I have them on my shelf, and I just love them so much. Another vendor that I was really excited to see was Dan Parent. He is one of the current artists and writers for the Archie comics. Not the original, because obviously the original Archie comics came out like years and years ago. But he's currently one of the artists for the Archie comics, and he was so sweet. I got a really beautiful poster that he did, and originally I wanted a different poster, and he was like trying to find it in his pile, and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I think I sold out of that poster, you know, which other one would you like? And I was like, oh, no worries, like, I can get another one. And I asked him, I was like, which poster or picture is your favorite that you've drawn? And he pointed to one, and I was like, all right, I'll get that one. So I got this really cool group shot, it's a drawing, a group picture of all the different characters from the Archie comics, and it's really cute. I like Riverdale a lot. I actually met Cole Sprouse. You could see him over there on my wall. But yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of Riverdale. It's not like my favorite show ever, but I do really enjoy it, and you know, it's just cool to see the comic book characters come to life. And I love the drawings of the Archie comics. I've always really loved them. And also, if you're not aware, Betty and Veronica is part of the Archie universe. And Sabrina is actually from, like, Sabrina the Teenage Witch is actually from Archie as well. Josie and the Pussycats. So yeah, I really love the art style of the Archie comics, and my mom is a really big fan of the Archie comics too. And she was a kid, she read them, and I don't know, they're so like nostalgic, and just like I love the art style. I think it's really beautiful. So it was really nice to meet him. So I'd say this was definitely one of my favorite years. I think I met, you know, just some really amazing people. I'm really glad that I was able to go to the Adam Savage panel. I was so happy that I was able to get a picture with him and get his autograph and talk to him. It was definitely like one of the highlights of my year. He is such an amazing person, and I really wish that I could just like have dinner with him and ask him a bunch of questions and talk to him, because he's just so cool. Like, he's definitely like 100% a nerd, 100% science geek, but like such a nice person. Like, everything he had to say was so intelligent and well spoken, but he was also like really funny, and he just seems like such a genuine person. And I'm so happy that I was able to meet him. And, you know, like I said, I think he was touched by what I said to him, and if I get to meet him again, I'll definitely talk about something else, because I already told him like my life story. But, you know, I really enjoyed meeting him. It was one of my favorite celebrity encounter experiences that I've had at AwesomeCon. It was definitely probably is my number one best encounter at AwesomeCon. I've never had a bad experience meeting a celebrity at AwesomeCon. Everyone that I've met at AwesomeCon has been like super, super friendly, but I think the overall experience, he was definitely my number one, like, best experience, favorite experience that I had meeting somebody. So Megan and I and my boyfriend and his friends all had a really amazing time this year. My boyfriend was actually dressed up like in like a Slytherin robe, and he had like the tie and like the cardigan and everything, and then his face mask was actually like Voldemort's face, and it was like a smiling, you know, in the last movie when Voldemort like starts smiling or whatever, and it's like super creepy. It was that on his face mask, and a lot of people were getting pictures of him and you know, just talking to him because his costume was like really good. But you know, he had a really great time, his friends had a great time, Megan had a great time, I had a great time, and it was definitely one of the best experiences at AwesomeCon I've had. And I'm so glad that things like this are starting to happen again. Obviously, you know, with COVID, still have to be cautious. And like I mentioned in the beginning, they had a lot of precautions to be safe. Everyone was wearing their masks. And again, I'm not complaining that we had to wear the masks. I just wish that they had a section where you could take the masks off for a second and take pictures in the convention center. But obviously that's not like super safe. Does that make a whole lot of sense? Probably not. But that was just one complaint that I had. But other than that, well, not even other than that, it wasn't even that big of a deal. I had such a good time. I'm not trying to sound like a broken record, but it was definitely one of the best experiences that I've had. I got a lot of really cool things. I met so many awesome people, not just like the celebrities, but other people that were there. This is the first time I full on cosplayed too, and it was so much fun. I'm definitely going to get some more costume pieces for some of my cosplays so I can, you know, make them a little bit more legit, because I don't have any wigs, so I think I'm going to invest in some wigs and definitely some better shoes. I will tell you, if you're going to go to any convention, you're going to go anywhere, you need some good shoes, because my feet were killing me. They hurt so bad. So I definitely need to get some better shoes. But other than that, other than my feet hurting and I'm wanting to chop them off, I had an amazing time. And if any of you have been to AwesomeCon or been to any other conventions, I'm sure you've had similar experiences of just how fun it is. And if you like people watching, conventions are definitely the place to be, or at least around the convention center is definitely the place to be, because it's such a great time. That's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my AwesomeCon experience. I hope it inspired you to check out AwesomeCon or check out a local convention in your area. And I hope that everybody is doing well. I know the COVID Delta variant is really scary. Just continue to be safe and get vaccinated. Continue to wear your mask. Continue to wash your hands and social distance. And, you know, safety is number one priority. Be safe, but definitely, you know, still have fun. I think 2020 was so scary, and I did have fun in 2020, but most of 2020 was pretty depressing and sad. And I'm not going to go into it too much right now because it's the end of the episode. But I'm so glad that things like this are happening again, and people can just sort of get back to like sense of normalcy and just enjoy things that they used to enjoy. Obviously still being safe while doing it. That's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, stay safe, stay classy, and I will chat again with you soon. Goodbye.